TSD. Hey, Andrew.
Yes.
I've been communicating with Nolan, the president of this commission, and they're having problems getting on here. So I sent them the link and we're going to see if we can't get them on. Okay.
Okay. We had a little hiccup with the Zoom link on the county website. If they go to the county website calendar now and click on the link, it should take them to the correct meeting.
Great. I'll text him that real quick. Thank you.
We made it.
Hey, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, for some reason it wasn't working, but I used the link you sent. You texted. Oh, sorry. Send you the link I just sent myself. We're gonna get this figured out.
It's only when you're trying to do something that you do that every time.
PSD, I have another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a new location for this meeting. We're in the Showers building in 106D, and we're trying to access the computer on the TV, and we're not seeing it on any of the inputs. Is there?
Okay. Andrew with TSD, can you help Nolan that's over in the Showers building?
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is that it might be asleep. The computer should be a little tiny
Yeah, it
flat
was turned
square.
off and we turned it on. We'll keep scrolling through here one more time. Otherwise, we'll just use our laptop here. Is it one of the? Oh, there it is. All right.
This you only have to figure it out once.
Okay.
How many more problems can we have?
Can you log in Lily? Because I don't have a phone to log in.
We just make sure all the rooms are set up different to keep you guys on your toes.
Appreciate it. We're getting there. And we are, Peter's still waiting on Julia. She had sent an email saying she was running late, so.
How's it going there?
Sorry, we're almost gonna be able to start.
Cool.
For that, guys.
Software.
It's just a password software. Yeah, we saw that. Couple of A's for this.
Recording in progress.
Can you hear us, Peter?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. All right. I guess I do need that too. Can you share your screen, Sean, or do you need
I don't,
that permission?
I don't see the.
Oh, are you on the meeting?
Okay, here we go. If you want to start the meeting, go
Yeah.
through your agenda.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and finally call this April 20th, 2023 Environmental Commission meeting to order. As always, up first is public comment, and luckily there's no one waiting on us. Start the meeting from public comment. I didn't resend out the minutes from February. I sent those out last month. I forgot to send them out. Are you all okay with approving the minutes for February or for the month, or would you rather wait till next month and resend them?
I am.
You okay? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from February 8th, 2023?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Minutes approved. And the first thing on the agenda is introduction of our new commission member, Andy Grinstead. So yeah, I forgot to give you this moment too, if you want to say anything or just say hi.
Sure, yeah. Hi, gang. Andy Grinstead. I am from Bloomington. My wife and I recently moved back here about a year ago. I work for a nonprofit managing a multi-state pollinator habitat and restoration program. And yeah, I'm super excited to meet everyone and join the team.
Great, appreciate it.
What's the nonprofit?
Pollinator Partnership.
Cool.
Yeah, they're based out of California, but we do work all over the country. Yeah.
Very cool. I'm a bad biologist.
Oh, great, fantastic.
Similar.
Yeah.
All right, next on the agenda, we have Sean Mia here from all over Bloomington Commission on Sustainability, and I guess she is now the new City Assistant Director of Sustainability for the City of Bloomington. But yeah, she was gonna talk, her and I both sit on a task force through BCOS on heat management. And so I asked her to come, we've been working on it for several months now, so I asked her to come and give us an update and talk about that. So,
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Nolan and I have been working really hard for the past 6 months at least. to create a heat management plan for Bloomington, Indiana. So a little bit of background about me. I've been in the environmental health and safety field since 1998. I was a pretreatment coordinator with utilities for 5 years. I worked with Lee. For the past 8 years, I've been working at IU as a lab safety specialist and laser safety officer. I completed my master's degree in December 2021. I did an internship with the IU School of Informatics, and I researched heat management plans across the US. So we looked at the top 20 most populated cities in the US, researched their climate action plan, heat management plan. And so I joined the Commission on Sustainability last year to bring all those ideas here to Bloomington and see what we can do. I completed a climate change and health certificate with Yale University last year, and I just became the Assistant Director of Sustainability Monday. So
Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you very much. So I've lived in Bloomington for more than 20 years. So why is heat management important? More than 1,300 people die each year in the US due to extreme heat, which is more than any other weather-related event. If you can remember back in June of 2020, we had nearly 600 people die in the Pacific Northwest due to extreme heat. And more than 11,000 Americans have died from extreme heat since 1979. So what's tragic about this is that most heat-related illnesses and deaths are preventable. So who is vulnerable to extreme heat? Just about every one of us know someone who's vulnerable to extreme heat. People who are older than 65 years old, they have a diminished sweating ability. People who have chronic diseases such as cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, respiratory diseases, renal diseases, mental disorders. People who are on certain medications, there's a whole list of medications that can affect your body's ability to cool down. And children, because they have a smaller body mass to surface area ratio than adults, they're more likely to become dehydrated and lose fluids more quickly. Pregnant women are more likely to become dehydrated. Low-income residents who can't afford air conditioning, they're exposed a lot more to extreme heat because they're walking a lot more, walking to work or walking to bus stops. Outdoor workers, of course, athletes, and urban heat islands combined with an aging population, poor air quality, and growing urbanization are projected to increase the vulnerability of people to heat-related health impacts. And our own City of Bloomington Climate Risk and Vulnerability Assessment by 2100, we are projected to have temperatures that are on average 8 to 11 degrees hotter, with 70 days above 95 degrees. Also, what's really important is that warmer nighttime temperatures mean that a lot of people aren't able to cool down at night, which even exacerbates their exposure level. So I'm not very good at graphics, but this is supposed to be a fan, and this encapsulates all 6 components of a heat management plan. And so we'll just go around the fan. We'll start with mapping and monitoring. So a lot of cities are mapping their urban heat islands. So this is giving them a really nice picture of where their hotspots are in their city. And so we were hoping to do that here in Bloomington with Cabot Strategies. We had submitted an application. It's an organization that helps cities across the US map their urban heat islands, but we weren't selected for the 2023 cohort, but we're trying some other scenarios and other projects to hopefully be able to map the urban heat island here in Bloomington. And so you use that data and you overlay census data to find out not only where your hotspots are, but also where are your vulnerable populations concentrated. And so that's where you can concentrate your mitigation efforts. Okay, so what are some mitigation efforts? So the top 3 are green infrastructure, albedo and shade, and design implementation. So green infrastructure, it helps to reduce the urban heat island effect by shading building surfaces, deflecting radiation from the sun, releasing moisture into the atmosphere, which increases evapotranspiration rates, which decreases urban temperatures. And there's a lot of co-benefits of green infrastructure, so just stormwater management. The more green infrastructure that you have, the better air quality that you're going to have. So some examples are green roofs. City of Chicago has over 500 of them. And it's in our climate action plan here in Bloomington to have a green roof pilot project. Some cities have green walls, bioswales, urban agriculture, city parks. So a lot of cities are expanding their tree canopies. This is an example of one in Philadelphia where they're concentrating, expanding their tree canopies along, along corridors that are used a lot, especially for walking. So the red lines are major corridors that need tree planting. The purple areas are industrial areas that need tree planting. The pink areas are neighborhoods that need tree planting. So we're hoping to do something like that here in Bloomington once we get everything mapped and get a better understanding of where we want to expand our tree canopy. So this is on the left, it's a picture of a parking lot here in Bloomington. And then in the center and on the right, that's a parking lot of the same company in Hilton Head, South Carolina. So and he was just there, he was just there to take that picture. I took the picture on the right last summer, but I was there and I just cannot believe this is a Walmart parking lot. So nice and shaded and so completely different than what we have here in Bloomington. So we'll have to see changes. Permeable pavement, we have an example of this at Switchard Park. It's where water can seep through instead of running off into the stormwater drains. So some cities like in Chicago, they're installing them in alleyways, and some people are having them installed in driveways and parking lots. Pool roofs, I would love to see a pilot project here in Bloomington. Pool roofs, it's whenever you have a typical roof, it's has a dark surface and it only reflects about 20% of the sunlight. Where if you have a pool roof that's painted white, it will reflect up to 80% of sunlight. So it helps to reduce cooling costs. It cuts energy use, which helps to lower our greenhouse gases. And it's a conventional roof can reach a temperature of up to 150 degrees or more. And under the same conditions, a reflective roof could stay more than 50 degrees cooler. So that makes a significant difference. So again, we have this in our climate action plan. It's a pilot project. New York City has a really awesome program where they have volunteers help to paint the roofs white. So I love that example. So getting the community involved. Also cool streets, same thing. The dark streets cannot reflect as much sunlight that the white ones do. So there's thermal imaging to prove that it has an effect. Also, you can have cool parking lots. And then shade structures. We'd love to see more shade structures over our playgrounds to protect children. And maybe in the downtown area, more shading. And then some cities are installing cool corridors. So wherever people are walking to bus stops, here's a good example of one in Phoenix. So the sidewalks are shaded with trees, the bus stops have water fountains. There's permeable pavement, cool pavement. So incorporating all of those mitigation measures where people are walking and people that are most vulnerable to extreme heat are protected. And then adaptation, that's programs and policies that help residents adapt to hot weather or help residents prepare for an extreme heat event. So two programs are cooling indoor environments and then education and training. And so thankfully, there's going to be a lot of funding coming down the line through the Inflation Reduction Act to implement a lot of these programs. So home weatherization programs, so installing more insulation, sealing of windows, actually replacing doors and windows is in the Inflation Reduction Act. So keeping that cool air in the summertime, keeping hot air out. It will help to increase energy efficiency. So again, reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Some cities have AC optimization programs where they will hire companies to go out and fix someone's air conditioning unit or actually giving free air conditioners to our fans. And then education and training. So just increasing more education about the health impacts of extreme heat, and also really getting the word out that, we're seeing hotter temperatures now, but in the future, it's only going to get hotter. So we need to prepare now. And so some cities are targeting elderly residents for education campaigns. Some cities have heat relief networks where there's a registry where people can sign up, and if say you have an elderly relative and you want someone to call them during a heat wave, just to make sure that we're okay, that we're drinking enough water and we're staying out of the heat. So, so I think that's really nice. And then, assisted living facilities training. So in home health based training, so making sure that those who are interacting with, elderly residents, whether they're going to their home or if they live in a nursing home, that they are aware of what heat related symptoms are and how to keep them cool, especially if there's a power outage. If there's no AC, then that's when, there's a lot of problems. Okay, so the next one is community engagement. Cities are having community planning meetings where they're involving their community, which I really love. Philadelphia has the best plan that I've seen so far, where they really engage the community and ask them, you know, what are your cooling challenges? What type of mitigation projects would you like to see and where? What would be most beneficial to you? What do you need from this program? So really getting them involved and letting them help to make decisions. So a way to get community members involved is to create the heat relief network. If we were to have been a 2023 cohort with Kappa Strategies, we could have involved the community in creating and collecting the heat data. They put sensors, volunteers put sensors on their cars and drive around the city during a really hot day and help to collect data. So we're going to try again for 2024 if we don't have anything else in place by then. And then tree planting programs and then the cool roof program as well. And then emergency response is a huge part of this plan. So during a heat wave, making sure that everything is in place and that every department has a list of actions that they complete. And so there's a lot of coordination between departments. So whenever there's a heat wave coming, we have increased guidance about behavior changes during an extreme heat event. And it's distributed via multiple channels and languages. And we do have an alert system here in Monroe County, the Monroe County Emergency Management. So if you sign up for their, you can get a text and be alerted.
Or phone call,
Or a phone call, okay.
and it's on the front of the web.
Okay.
Looks like a megaphone.
Okay,
on there.
okay. And then on infrastructure augmentation, so opening cooling centers. I'm working on getting data from IU Health so that we can see when people are going to the hospital with heat related illnesses. We want to correlate that with the heat index. And so whenever we see a spike in heat related illnesses at that temperature, that's when we know that we should be opening up cooling centers, providing a place for people to cool down, you know, especially for people who can't afford air conditioning. So some cities, they don't allow any utility shutoffs during a heat wave. They offer free bus transportation and increased public drinking water requirements. And then again, the emergency heat management plan. So again, there's specific actions for each department. And then during a heat wave, cities are going out and checking on their homeless populations. We're working with HealthNet right now to create an information guide for our homeless residents so that they know cooling locations, they know the symptoms of a heat related illness, medications. And we're working on creating a map with all the public drinking water fountains. So that's a project that we're working on. And then leadership. It refers to steps taken by a city or county official or department that provides a framework or resources for heat mitigation and extreme heat emergency response. Some cities are enacting ordinances, so requiring cool roofs on any new construction, green area ratios, so any new construction, a certain portion of the property has to have green space. Emergency backup generators for assisted living facilities. And then the best plans that I've seen has a diversity of stakeholders. And so that's what Nolan and I are working on. We're trying to get as many different organizations as possible and different county and city departments involved. So far we have planning, emergency management, the health department. We have some nonprofits, Candy Bloomington and Red Cross. And we've had some other departments join some of our meetings that are aware of what we're doing. So like HAND and community,
Family and resources.
community and family resources, yes. Yeah, so, and then some cities actually have dedicated employees that do nothing but extreme heat management, so in LA. So what does an effective heat management plan look like? So we have fewer heat-related illnesses and deaths. We have lower urban temperatures, and each department and organization adequately fulfills all duties outlined in the heat management plan during an extreme heat event. So I ask that whoever is interested to join us, we want to create this effective heat management plan as soon as possible. There's lots of projects to manage. There's oodles of projects to manage if anybody's interested. We meet once a month, every first Thursday, in the clock in the city hall. Anybody's interested, just let us know.
Is that open to the public?
Yeah, anybody, whoever wants to, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I can share that information with the group.
okay. Any questions? I know I went through that really fast, but.
Yeah, you mentioned something coming down in the
Inflation Reduction Act, yeah. Yeah, so there's tax credits for residents who want to replace their doors and windows and do home energy audits and increase insulation. And so to make homes more energy efficient. Yeah.
That could be interesting in our ARPA plan, we're making money available for various kinds of house renovations and all, and that might be something to look at.
Yeah, the Environmental Resilience Institute is having an informational meeting next Thursday. And it's all about the Inflation Reduction Act and helping cities and counties learn how to apply for funding.
Yeah, I forwarded that to you all today or yesterday.
Right. Yes,
So,
that's what.
That was specifically, I wasn't sure if it- for like, they say communities of 50,000 people or less, but I don't know how maybe you could apply for a Delta or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. What they offer.
How it's first times, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, one of the main reasons obviously that, we started this out of BCOS, but it's, like you said, we've got a lot of county departments involved and they're all already very interested, which was good, and something they haven't had really an opportunity to address, or they haven't done so yet.
What's the current planning phase? I'm sorry if I missed that.
We're just getting started.
Okay.
I have an outline. I have tons of documents in a Google Drive. If anyone's interested, all kinds of examples and websites and an outline of our heat management plans that just has in there some of the projects that we've talked about.
Sure.
But we're still in very.
Yeah, we just started meeting 5 or 6 months ago, maybe,
Yeah.
so.
Do you have a general timeline that you're looking at for development of the plan, I suppose, before implementation?
Hannah Gregory, who's with Canopy Bloomington, and I met with a professor at IU. Her name's Heather Reynolds. She's a part of the ERI Urban Green Infrastructure Group. And she has a grant through the EPA for Keep Indianapolis Beautiful. And so it's a green infrastructure project up in Indianapolis. And so we're going to try to collaborate and have that same grant here for Bloomington. So we've only met once, so we're not sure what's going to happen with that yet, but yeah, we'll see. But even as the AD now for sustainability, I think the more partnerships that we can have, because I use such a huge resource for us here in Bloomington, the better. So whether it's working on heat management or food waste or anything that's in the climate action plan, the more collaborations and partnerships that we have, the better. So, yeah.
And yeah, I know you have to run, but it's on the agenda for later, talking about our involvement with ERI and the resilience cohort and fellow that we're gonna have starting next month.
And already he's like a part of that discussion, so I think there's an opportunity for a lot of collaboration and the work we're doing with him and the work we're doing on both sides.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
So, and I know there's gonna be doing like public workshops and events
Mhm.
that I think we could join on to. and
Yeah.
do a lot of data there, so. And yeah, also I know probably hasn't been shared since both Julie and Andy have joined, but ERI also did a Hoosier Resilience Index for Monroe County 2 years ago. And like the top 3 things were extreme heat, and extreme precipitation and floodplain stuff. So it's definitely out there.
Because if you're working on mitigating extreme heat, you're also working on storm water management too. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it's all interrelated. Okay.
But does the conference work? It storm and water management improves, does that help with the heat index?
It does,
Okay.
if you're using green infrastructure, so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I think the county's efforts will be more towards flooding
Flooding, yes.
at this point.
Yeah.
rather than
uh-huh,
heat,
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna take off, let you guys continue, but.
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Very much.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
good to see
Yeah,
you
good to see
again.
too. Yeah, you'll be seeing me around, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So next thing agenda is something I put on last month, and mostly I just wanted to get an idea of what it was. Peter had sent me a draft county fleet policy, and I figured you might know more about that, and it was still a draft, and what the intention of that whole policy was.
It really had more, it mostly had to do, and it's a little while ago, and I don't have a real strong memory of it, but it mostly had to do with buying and when replacements will happen and things like that. And I seem to remember some discussion of putting something into it about electric vehicles. But I don't remember if that actually happened or not.
And is it still a draft, or did they do something with it?
No,
Don't remember.
I really
Yeah.
have to go back and look.
Okay.
I
And yeah, I didn't
looked
ask
at so many
Peter what he
different
said,
ordinances.
there wasn't, I looked through it, there really wasn't much in it about
No,
environmental or pollution or anything, so I was curious if there was room for that in that policy, and if so, we should, if we can participate in some of that.
I think it might almost be better to roll it into the resilience plan,
Mhm.
because this is kind of a very specific thing for fleet management, kind of.
There, yeah, that's just the impression I got, it was pretty brief and didn't have
Yeah,
much.
yeah, nothing exciting.
Yeah,
So I don't really remember it.
yeah, and I was also gonna say, I guess Peter I guess he's at the airport, and he had a flight, so I didn't know where he was, he was like, just gonna join via Zoom, but he just jumped off.
Okay.
But I was gonna initially ask you and him, we're just starting the city, he's just starting something with Duke Energy, and they're offering us an electrification plan essentially, so that we give them our current inventory of vehicles and how we use them, and they come up with a report and say like how you, like a 20-year plan essentially for like how to approach things.
We have actually done that, but it wasn't with Duke Energy.
Okay, and she
It
hires,
was, I think,
oh, you know,
called Green Cities or.
was it Drive?
Or
Clean?
yes,
Okay.
Drive Clean. that's
So I
it,
think,
yeah.
I guess I heard something about that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was in Jeff Cockrell, was that his name, the lawyer attorney? He said that they did do something and that he was, it was a very brief side conversation. We were bringing down another fellow for the ERI project,
Oh, right.
and he was saying, he says, oh, maybe the environmental commission is a good place for them to present their findings.
Yeah,
So I'll follow up with them and see, and I didn't really know what the report was, if it was that kind of thing or not.
I don't think we've received the report at
Okay.
this point.
All right, I'll
I
let you
don't
know.
know if maybe Jeff got a preliminary or something, although he would usually share that with
Okay.
us.
All right, yeah, I'll reach out to him and see exactly what he was, because it was very brief side. So, all right. So yeah, I was hoping, I didn't realize Peter had to jump off. The next item on the agenda is the ERI resilience cohort update. So we do officially have, so yeah, especially for you, there's this resilience cohort group that they do every year. Are you familiar with environmental resilience?
Yes.
So yeah, ERI does. And they've done it a few years now. I think each year they have a slightly different focus. And this year it's putting together a climate resilience plan for your community. And so we're so the city of Bloomington's participating, and then we're participating in Monroe County. And then there's a few other cities throughout Indiana that are participating. So as part of that, we're gonna have a McKinney Fellow. And we met him last week, and I think he's official now, contracts have been signed. So he's interesting, seems like a smart guy, he's from Pakistan and then like past experience working in the what do you call it, the normal fuel industry, the oil and gas industry. And now he's in SPIA and he'll be working with us, and that goes through August, and then there's the opportunity, if both sides want to extend that through yeah, this whole school year, or just that one semester, fall semester. I thought so, yeah. And then, so he'll be working, and then sort of in tangent with him, there's a cohort. And I haven't heard much about the cohort yet. My understanding is like maybe 8 or 10 students. And so they'll be sort of working together. I don't know the details about how all that is gonna work, but they're all gonna be working starting in May. So we'll have him working, well, not full-time, but part-time, in that group. So yeah, Peter has been much more, he's kind of the point person for the county. Like each city obviously needs a point person, and I don't work for the county, but I'm just sort of helping him where I can. But yeah, he's our point person, and he can tell you more about it, and he's not here. So, but yeah, we'll be doing updates. And so Hyder is the fellow, he'll be joining us, as long as his class schedule and things don't get in the way. He'll be joining us here, giving us updates, and we can kind of work more alongside Peter, help give feedback and directions and things like that. So yeah, it's kind of exciting.
It's taken us a while to get here.
Yeah, so yeah, this is a good opportunity because yeah, I know Peter and you and some folks in the county that really wanted. They don't have like a director of sustainability type person like the city does. And we've had some talks with different departments, and Peter on his own, and sat with them sometimes, and there was just questions of where to house that position and who's funding and all.
Yeah, it's very complicated.
Has that been tabled for now?
Pardon?
Has that kind of been tabled for now?
I guess it kind of, basically the problem is what department to put them
Right.
in. And probably what really makes the most sense is planning or the commissioner's office. And our administrator is pretty overworked as it is, and feels that she can't really help someone get up to speed and on board and all. And planning both doesn't have room and doesn't think that we have big space problems in the county, so just trying to find another office for someone is kind of a big deal. So
Is it a funding issue too, or is that not as much of an issue?
that's more for Peter to talk about.
Yeah.
The council, I think they could fund it if they decided that it was a high enough priority.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know even in that funding webinar that we were just talking about, Peter had also made the comment, or I mean, with all the money out there is, and that focus in this kind of projects, that I think it would probably be easy to get a lot of good money.
Yes, well,
to
I think
support.
probably.
But yeah, I think this is a great first step. The only other thing we've really done is that Hoosier Resilience Index I mentioned, and that was just, a short report for the county, and I can send that back out to y'all too. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, they're really pushing for a lot of action and a lot of community engagement. I've sat in on some of the sessions that ERI have held.
Yeah.
And so I think it could be really good.
Yes, I think it's something the county kind of needs to be involved in.
So yeah, that's all I guess I had in that. Next month, with Peter and I will be able to figure out where we're going and what we're doing. So next on the agenda is report from council. So we'll skip that. Would you like to report anything for the commission?
I don't think anything very, well, probably you've heard that we're working on a jail, and one of our goals is for it to be LEED certified.
Okay.
And that's something we're going to really be pushing for. And I think things like a white roof and things like that would make a lot of sense in the design, if we ever get to the point of the design. And then we have recently talked about going ahead and getting started on the solar installations,
Okay.
which we actually have money for that in a bond that I think it was last year's bond that it was in, but we just haven't gotten to the point of contracting with anyone or anything like that, but we're gonna start working on that now.
Is that to support the jail?
Well, we certainly hope to do something like that with the jail, but no, all around the county, and we're actually looking at like parking lots where we might put up solar structures or just, you know, on top, well, we have them on top of the garage, but any place that we can figure out. We have had them on the Justice Building and had to take them off to repair the roof. And probably they won't go back there because we're not sure how much function that building has left in it. So, or if we do put them back, it'll be newer, better ones. And I'm not thinking of a whole lot more environmental stuff that we've been involved in lately.
So one thing regarding commission, commissioners, I know that Peter and I are gonna present at some point about the ERI project and using the energy number
Yeah,
fund.
yeah.
Do we need to vote on that here as a commission? Is that like, is it, I understand that we have some control of that money, but I don't know if it's us or
Yeah,
vote on or take action on here.
I think probably a vote to recommend
Okay.
it would make sense. We might want to talk to Jeff Cockrell about that because I've been discovering that different committees have very different
Mhm.
kind of structures and all.
Well, and I bring it up sort of late because I think we're gonna present it before we meet this commission
This
next.
Well,
Because we're gonna go to
Yeah.
council on next week,
yeah,
I believe, so. But I mean, it probably doesn't matter, because
I-
I'd ask it and see if
well,
we're doing
you
things
can do
right.
a straw poll.
Yeah.
I mean, are you guys in favor of, if this is money to pay the,
Yeah, right, yeah.
fellow.
So it's actually, yeah, it's $4,000 total, $2,000 towards fellow, and I believe the other $2,000 is towards the cohort.
Thought we voted on that already.
I know we talked about it.
It's-
Let's say, I know we've talked about it, but, yeah.
How does that sound?
Yeah, I mean,
And
on
we
the first
have-
day on
yeah.
the commission, I know. how-
Yeah.
Pay the.
$4,000.
Well,
Bring down
we
this
know
county.
that Peter is behind it. I think we could say that it's clear that the
Right,
whole committee is in favor of doing this.
and yeah, the way I'm learning the county works is the county council is in charge of like all the finances.
Well, and this is kind of a complicated, the environmental commission is a commissioner's commission. And so we kind of control the fund that this committee has. But we don't actually control any money. So basically they're going to have to go to both the council and the commissioners to get full approval.
We make recommendations, right?
To make recommendations to both, yeah. So,
You're right. Well, sure.
yeah, I don't think,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
gonna go
think, I
through.
talked to the commissioners about this and they're pretty in favor of this. So maybe distracted at the moment, but
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
yeah.
All right, good. So yeah, like I said, I'm going, it sounds like I'm going to council next week and Peter will speak, but since he's on council, I'll be there, speak as well. And then we'll come to you all during one of your Wednesday meetings, I guess, at some point.
Yeah, you should talk to Angie about it and she'll see whether it's better to present it in a work session first.
Okay, and yeah, I
I
know Peter's been talking
Probably
to her, so-
not, if the council has already approved it, then probably just bring it right to a regular session.
Okay,
But,
all right, great. All right, next, the agenda, I just want to point out, it was mentioned earlier, we do have still 2 open seats in this commission. 1 commissioner appointed, 1 council appointed. So if you know anybody, encourage them. For that, submit an application.
yes,
I keep meaning, it. I should bring it up at one of those heat task force groups, because that group would be,
I think that,
then,
some of them are already county employees, but there's other folks.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure. What, I think that we can only have 1 or 2 people from within the city limits, and that's a lot of our problem.
Well, I think you're in city limits,
Believe so, yes.
but you said you're not, right? So, yeah. And I guess. Well, and you two don't, and I'm not.
Lauren had been, and
Yeah.
she's not here anymore, so.
Well, I know
That's-
Sean is. She wasn't actually, yeah, she was in one of those like donut holes.
Oh,
Same.
Yeah.
she had initially been on it as a city representative.
Yeah.
And then we kind of stopped having a city representative but appointed her to continue on.
And I think she was still sort of doing it. Unofficially as a city representative, and she was like part of her, so she said she would recommend for the next person in that position. For them to sit on this, so I haven't, obviously, she only started this week, I haven't brought it up with her yet.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll see if that's something she's planning on doing, so that would. She'll want it. She does live in city limits, I know.
Yeah,
But I still think. Yeah, I guess that would for the last
and
position be an issue.
there's one person I know who does not live in the city limits who I can ask. I think it's fairly unlikely.
Yeah.
Travels a whole lot.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, it would be very helpful, I know, so everybody can join on Zoom occasionally. Not that would be an issue, we'll mention again.
Well, and I discovered it's also quite an issue for TSD when we cancel at the last minute.
Yeah, Dina's been hounding me and I
Yeah.
keep telling her, I try, I've
Well,
been trying to get like
you see,
everybody.
Their employees, have to take time off during the day in order to work.
Yeah, I think for maintenance too. it's an issue.
The maintenance, and they're a little more prepared for it, but,
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you get all those emails from me.
yes.
Let me know if you
Well,
can.
and I will try to do better replying. Sometimes I'm just not sure if I can.
No, I understand that when I was doing, let's say, with you guys.
Actually, Post annexation area.
Oh, you're gonna propose area, okay, I thought. Yeah, I think you told me that when we met, we kind of narrowed down where you live.
Yeah.
So yeah, that shouldn't be an issue then with the 3 of us not living in the city. Peter does technically, right? But you don't, so it's like,
But he's a council representative,
Right.
so that doesn't really count.
yeah, I mean, we gotta have one. All of you all both. All right. The only other items on the agenda, first is any old business. We can cover all that. Any new business? All right, our next meeting is May 18th, Thursday, same location. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, TSD.
Yes, thank you, TSD.
You're welcome.
Yeah.